Today we are going to be ranking the movie releases of 2025, whether that just be actually in movie theaters or some really big names in general, and I'm going to predict how well they are going to do. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Let's get started on this tier list, guys. There are not as many movies coming out as I thought there were. Now, I am ranking them based on how I believe they will perform, not how much I'm going to like them, not how good of movies they actually are going to be. I'm going to be predicting them based on how well they will perform. Now, starting off with one that I actually can't talk about 28 years later. Never heard of this in my life, okay? So we're starting off going into the NA tier, but now continuing on, we have a Minecraft movie. I think this is going to do huge numbers. I think this is going to be not necessarily a huge success in like storytelling. I think it's actually going to be a very poor movie, but with all of the kids, all of the diehard Minecraft fans that would still want to see it, and I could see this movie being seen from the rest of the world as like a meme. I'm going to go see it because it's probably going to be so bad. So you have all of that in combination together. I think a Minecraft movie is going to shine. I might move these around at the end, but I'm going to put this one actually starting off straight into the S tier. Now, Avatar, Fire and Ash. I just learned until I looked at that poster, Avatar, Fire and Ash is the name of the movie, but regardless, that's an interesting one, man. It's an interesting one because Avatar, The Way of Water did so well because of the success of the first one and the anticipation for the next one. I personally like the second Avatar movie more than I actually like the first one, but when it comes to this one, actually, I was just talking to my wife about this one. She accurately described it, man. Like, Avatar seems to have lost some steam, but regardless, the movies are so well hyped. They're so well produced that I think it's still going to do well. I think this will be the weakest one. So I'm going to put this one over into the A tier. That's where I believe that we're going to see Avatar, and I think the Minecraft movie is going to beat it out. Now, continuing on to the bad guys too. I never even watched the first movie. Not only have I not watched it, I haven't even heard about the first movie until the second one. So I don't imagine it did well the first time around. And I've seen the trailers. It's in pretty well every theater movie that you go to right now. You'll see the trailer. I don't think it looks good. I don't think it's going to do good. I'm putting this into the D tier. Now, continuing on to Ballerina. I never heard about this movie until I actually looked into what this tier list was about. John Wick has a very solid fan base, and I would imagine that it would be near the same, kinda. I don't know. I know the last movie wasn't necessarily all that well received, but I would imagine it's going to get a solid fan base. I'm going to put this one over into the B tier. Now, this is an interesting one. Bambi the Reckoning. I know this is a horror story, but I don't know if it actually is like the character of Bambi that we all grew up with. Regardless, I can't see this one performing either. I'm going to put this one to the D tier, probably behind Bad Guys 2. Captain America 4. This is probably the Marvel movie that's most hyped besides maybe the Fantastic Four. This is the one I'm personally most hyped for, but how do I think it'll perform? I think the fact that they showed the Hulk in a fight scene with Falcon in the trailer is really going to boost it up because not nearly as many people love Falcon, right? But they would go to see the Hulk. I would imagine, man, Marvel's lost so much steam. That's the problem, right? I think it's going to do okay, but nothing crazy. I'm going to also put this one into the B tier. I think it's going to outdo Ballerina, though. The Conjuring. You have those solid horror fans. You have a huge fan base that will definitely go be seeing this. I'm going to put this one in the C tier. It's probably going to do sort of as expected. Now, this one, I've never heard of. Elio. It's a new animated movie. Never even heard of it. Don't know if there's a trailer out. There's clearly not a lot of hype about it because I keep up with movies and I've never even heard about this one. So I don't know, but those animated movies sometimes think about the Wild Robot last year. Nobody was going to go see it, and then everybody heard that it was fantastic, and people went to go see it as well. I'm going to put this one in the C tier, man. I'm going to put this one in the C tier. Now, F1, like we were talking about The Conjuring, has a solid foundation fan base. I don't think there's been a movie. I don't think there's been a movie of F1, to be honest with you. Is there a show? I've been hearing, I can't remember, man. There have been, at least talks about this movie, or there's been something hyped up about it. Regardless, this one's a little bit difficult to predict. I'm going to put this one... I'm going to put this one in the C tier as well. I'm going to put it, right behind the new anime movie. Now, the Fantastic Four. This one is probably the trickiest out of all of them, I would imagine. I am personally not excited for this, but because I know they're going to be tied into Secret Wars, we're going to have to go see it. So anybody who still cares about any Marvel project will have to go see this. I don't think it's going to do better than Captain America. I think it will perform. It depends on how, like, what the word gets out. Like, if this movie ends up being fantastic or anything. I'm going to put this one to the B tier as well. I'm actually, I'm going to put it right in front of Ballerina. I think that's a good place to put it. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The hype for the first movie was incredible, right? Everybody under the sun went to go see it, but there were a lot of mixed reviews for Five Nights at Freddy's. So, how much hype is the next one going to be? FNAF still has one of the hardest, like, most solid fan bases of all time. So I'd imagine most FNAF fans would still go see this movie. For that reason, I'm going to put it, I'm going to put it at the top of C tier, man. I'm going to put it at the top of C tier. Now we have one that's not even going to be releasing in movie theaters. Can we even rank this one? We can't rank this one, right? The new Happy Gilmore movie. I'm very excited for that one, but you can't rank it. It's not going to go out. So I'm going to put this one to the NA too. How to Train Your Dragon, live action. Not a clue how this is going to do. Not a clue. Because we've all seen the first movie. How to Train Your Dragon has a huge fan base. How to Train Your Dragon, in my opinion, is the greatest trilogy of all time. And if they did anything How to Train Your Dragon, I would definitely go see it. I'm not interested in the live action one. I don't know how many How to Train Your Dragon fans feel the same way about that. I don't know if there's any people that align with that viewpoint. Regardless, you also have to take into consideration all of the people who absolutely refuse to see anything animated because I'm too grown up to watch a cartoon or anything like that, right? They might give this movie an actual chance. So is that going to help? Or is it going to be enough people where it's like, okay, I already saw How to Train Your Dragon, I don't need to go see it again? I have absolutely no clue how this one's going to perform. I'm going to guess B tier, bottom of B tier. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a really, really, really tough one. Now, Jurassic World Rebirth, okay? Jurassic World. They knock it out of the park every time. Whether it's a good movie, whether it's a bad movie, everybody goes to see the new Jurassic World movie. I feel like they could have like 6 movies in a row that just absolutely bomb, and people still go see the 7th and just spend all of their money, okay? Jurassic World is absolutely in the S tier. I think it'll outperform a Minecraft movie. That's the one that I'm predicting to do the best so far. Now, The Karate Kid. I didn't even know they were making another Karate Kid. I don't know. Like, is anybody hyped about The Karate Kid anymore? I know Cobra Kai is doing well, but that's not necessarily the same thing. Like, do enough people like Cobra Kai to the point where they're going to go, hey, I really need to see this Karate Kid movie? I can't see it doing well, man. I'm actually going to put it at the top of D tier. That's where I'm going to throw that. Lilo and Stitch. I forgot this was going to be a thing. It's not doing this entire tier list is tough, man, now that I'm thinking about it, because these live action movies, they're either like a solid hit or a solid miss. And I can't, like, if I had to guess, man, Lilo and Stitch wouldn't perform well. But then again, I always think about things like The Jungle Book. Who expected The Jungle Book to do well? But that's also like one in how many, right? That's a toughie. That's a real toughie. It has a strength that it's a Disney movie. Any Disney fan, like any hardcore Disney fan, will go to see it, and there are millions and millions of those people. I'm going to put this one to the C tier, top of C tier. That's where I'm going to throw Lilo and Stitch. Megan, not a clue what that is. Sorry, guys. NA, Mission Impossible. I would imagine it's going to do okay. They've made a ton of movies. They've all done relatively well. I'm going to put this one into the C tier as well. I'm actually going to throw it ahead of Lilo and Stitch, okay? That's where I'm going to throw that one. Now, Mortal Kombat 2. I can't see this one performing at all. Actually, guys, we're going to throw this one to the F tier. I love Mortal Kombat, and I love the games, and I didn't even know there was a first movie, but I'm going to actually check that out. There is no hype around this. Nobody is talking about this, and as somebody who's in the gaming scene, nobody's talking about this movie. And the fact that I didn't even know there was one Mortal Kombat movie, that can't help, man. I'm predicting that one to go into the F tier. Another movie that I had no clue was coming out is Now You See Me 3. I don't even know how the first two performed. Like, they were okay movies, but did they, like, break any records or anything like that? I don't know. And there never really was hype for it, eh? I'm going to throw this one to the D tier as well. I'm actually going to throw it right behind Bad Guys. Now, Snow White. Ooh. Here's the question. Has the main actress alienated enough people to not go watch Snow White? But on the other side of the coin, you have like the Lilo and Stitch effect, like I said, where it's the hardest core Disney fans will probably support this. But she probably has alienated quite a bit of people. Regardless, like, the movie doesn't look good. I didn't like the trailer. I'm not excited for it, but it doesn't matter if I'm excited for it. How do we think that this is going to perform? I think Lilo and Stitch will do better. There's people that'll go for Gal Gadot too, right? Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. That one's a real toughie to pin. But I'm gonna guess it's gonna do worse. So I'm gonna put this one into the C tier. I'm gonna put it right behind Karate Kid because you might have a lot of old heads that might want to go see this one too. But let's continue on to Star Trek Section 31. I didn't even know there was another Star Trek coming. I've liked the first couple movies that they made. I haven't watched the third one, but I heard horrible things about it. I don't know. Star Trek, there's no hype behind Star Trek anymore. Oh, am I going to put this one to the F tier? I think I will. There's no hype behind this. Am I wrong? I'm going to look really stupid if that completely outperforms. This is going to be fun to look back at about a year from now. Now, Superman. I think this one will do well. A lot of people are starved for really good comic movies. There is a ton of people that are looking forward to, and myself included, looking forward to how James Gunn is going to spin the Superman. It's like a complete restart on the entire series, and that's something that people have been looking forward to for a long time. I think this will perform fairly well. I'm going to put it into the A tier, right behind Avatar. Now, Thunderbolts. This one isn't going to drag people to the theaters like Captain America will, but I see this having a lot of potential if it's really good. Like, we're getting out, like, you guys got to go check out this Marvel movie, Thunderbolts. Like, people like the Winter Soldier, people like, crap. There's another character in there that is escaping my memory right now. But regardless, this one has potential, but I'm going to put it low B tier to start. That's where I'm going to throw Thunderbolts. Now, Tron, there's no hype behind Tron anymore. There's no hype behind Tron. I would imagine that's going to go into the D tier as well. I'm going to put it right behind Snow White. Wicked. Now, when talking about this idea for a video, Wicked was the first thing that came to mind. Wicked has 3 really solid things going for it. One, it objectively, like, being a well-produced movie, good story. It's not for me. I'm not a big fan of musicals. It also has all of the diehard Ariana Grande fans going, and it also has all of the wannabe Broadway theater kids going. Like, that is a solid group of people that no matter what will go to support this movie. Plus, you gotta admit, like, it was very, very well done, the first one. Well, I really, really didn't like it. And it also helps that it's coming out so soon after the first one that the hype's still going to be alive, unlike Avatar 1, Avatar 2, but that's a poor example because Avatar did well anyways, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Wicked, I think, is going to shine. I think Wicked is going to go into the S tier. I'm going to put it, though, I am going to put it behind Minecraft, okay? Lastly, we have Zootopia. Whew. This is what I'm talking about. The hype for Zootopia was there when it came out. Like, how long ago did Zootopia come out, man? It's been, if I had to ballpark it, I'd say a decade, but I don't know if it's actually been that long. Regardless, this is what I was talking about. The hype is no longer there. It's been too long since we've seen the first one, but the first one was very well received. The first one did great. I would imagine this one would do good too. It's a family movie for everybody. It's one that anybody could watch. Like, everybody really liked it. Second one will probably have some hype. I'm going to put this one into the B tier. I am going to put this one actually ahead of Captain America. Now, that's what we're rocking with, guys. Let's see how this ends up performing. I will be making more tier list videos on the releases for, like, how excited I am for these things, but I do believe in the S tier, the top 3 movies that are going to perform the best are going to be Jurassic World, then Minecraft, then Wicked. I believe those will be the top movies, and I would love to know what you guys think about this down below. Thank you very, very much for being here, guys. We have lots of tier list content on the channel, so why don't you check out one of these 2 tier lists on screen right now? I'd love to have you guys over there. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.